Something that I think a lot of people don't talk enough about is the loneliness that is a byproduct of when friends just don't align with your place in life anymore.
I really did not realize until today, like I was today years old when I figured out that the reason why I cause my own suffering half the time is because I'm just simply not being social enough. Like it is.
We are going to be a more lonely generation because a lot of people cannot converse. The art of conversation is dead.
Nobody knows how to have real conversations anymore. Friendships are dying quietly. People surrounded by others feel empty, and loneliness has become an epidemic in the US. This isn't shyness or bad luck. Something is seriously wrong, and almost no one wants to admit it.
Something that I think a lot of people don't talk enough about is the loneliness that is a byproduct of when friends just don't align with your place in life anymore. You can be so close with someone and then the next day realize like you're in totally different life stages. And there's a loneliness in not feeling like you're on the exact same path and trajectory as someone that you once were. I think that's what causes a lot of friendship breakups, or at least a lot of revelations around values on what we want out of our friends in life and what we care about. And it's really hard to grapple with. And there's like a sadness and a grief that comes with realizing, oh, wait, I'm lonely in a connection that once used to bring me joy and no longer really does in the same way that it did. But I guess that's part of growing up. And if we can build relationships that are full of depth and quality and meaning, I think that that's actually what we need to feel happy in life, not just like having so many surface level friends that drain us, but like genuinely pouring into the ones that really make us feel seen and heard and appreciated and like we belong.
This points to something many people experience but rarely admit: the loneliness that shows up when life paths no longer align. It's not a fight or hate, it's misalignment. In American adult life, everything revolves around career, performance, and speed. When one person grows in one direction and the other in another, the connection starts to hurt. You're still close, but you don't feel accompanied. That creates emotional grief, because the friendship still exists, but it no longer feeds you. Society teaches quantity, not depth. The result? Shallow connections and very little real presence.
Is it just me, or does nobody know how to hold a conversation anymore? And I'm not even talking about like in public. I mean online. Like no one's enthused. No one's asking follow-up questions. And I don't know. I feel like nearly every situation I'm in online, in an online space, I'm carrying the conversation. And I'm just like, geez, like, what's going on? Why is no one like genuinely interested in other people? Or like, I ask a question, they answer it, and that's it. I'm like, why is no one asking questions? Like, this is the part where you ask a question, or this is the part where you contribute a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it or something, but yeah, weird.
Here the problem is more brutal. People have forgotten how to talk. In the US digital space, everyone talks, but no one listens. Social media trains quick replies, not curiosity. Conversation became a task, not an exchange. When no one asks back, the silent message is, I'm not interested in you. That creates frustration, emotional exhaustion, and isolation. It's not that there's nothing to talk about. There's a lack of attention. People are so focused on sounding interesting that they forgot interest is built by listening. Without listening, there's no bond, just noise.
We are going to be a more lonely generation because a lot of people cannot converse. The art of conversation is dead. Some people only want to have a conversation with you if they gain something or they want something from you. You don't have to have gained anything from a person from talking to them. You could have just listened to them. Or people who will just monologue at you and then you'll reply to them and they're not listening. They're just waiting to say their part. And that's, again, not a conversation. Ask back. Talk and connect. Like this world that we are already living in. We all want to get off our damn phones, but no one's talking.
This highlights an uncomfortable truth. Many people only talk when there's something to gain. Relationships turn into transactions. In the US, where productivity defines personal value, even dialogue became currency. Either someone monologues or they're just waiting for their turn to speak. There's no presence, only performance. That kills any sense of belonging. Conversation isn't about competing for attention. It's about sharing humanity. When no one truly listens, everyone feels invisible. And social invisibility, over time, turns into chronic loneliness, even when surrounded by people.
A fascinating study just came out from Stanford that explains why it's so hard for young people to make friends these days. And the research is not showing that it has to do with like, oh, everybody's just all in front of their phones. No, what it's actually showing is that there's something called an empathy perception gap. I'm going to explain to you what that is. And if you're somebody who's looking to make new friends, this is a really important thing to be aware of. By the way, I'm a friendship educator and I have a degree in interpersonal communication. And you should be following me if you want tips on how to boost your social skills and make more friends. So Stanford ran a study amongst college students, and they found that these students are really underestimating how empathetic, kind, and friendly one another are. Like they're seeing one another, but they're just assuming that that person wouldn't want to talk to them, assuming that that person doesn't want to be friends, assuming that they just shouldn't bother striking up a conversation. They just assume that other people don't like them or want to be friends with them. And then it's no surprise that this results in people having less friends. And they even ran an experiment where for 6 months, they divided up the dorms, and one set of dorms got a bunch of like advertisements and posters that were talking about like how many people actually do want to make friends and giving like statistics and things like that. And then they didn't post some in these other dorms. And it showed that after 6 months, the people who were exposed to all of this information about like how much people do actually want to make friends had way more friendships. Their way of thinking about other people got reprogrammed in that 6 months. The study didn't get into like what could be behind the root of why people have this perception. I wouldn't be surprised if it was related to something like social media and just the ability to like on the internet see too many of people's like unfiltered thoughts and then assume that all people are that like trolling and heartless and mean, when really most people are just like you and me, just nice people who want to have friends and have a friendly, nice time. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of people who are not interested in that, but statistically, more people are interested in making new friends, having a nice chat. It's less common for somebody to be like totally antisocial, and I think a lot of us are incorrectly presuming that more people are that way than actually are. Have you found that this is standing in your way of making friends too? Like you're assuming that other people just aren't interested, don't want to talk to you, don't want you to bother them, and don't want to make friends? Oh, and by the way that I found out about this study was that my boomer parents clipped it out of the newspaper for me. Is that not the cutest thing in the entire universe? I love them. Be sure to follow me if you want more tips on how to boost your social skills and make more friends.
Here's where it gets dangerous. The fear of rejection before it even happened. People aren't colder, they're insecure. This empathy gap shows that many young Americans assume nobody wants connection, even when most people do. Social media amplifies the worst human behavior and creates the illusion that the real world is hostile. The result? No one starts conversation. No one takes risks. Loneliness grows not because of a lack of people, but because of too many wrong assumptions. When you expect rejection, you exclude yourself before even trying.
I really did not realize until today, like I was today years old when I figured out that the reason why I cause my own suffering half the time is because I'm just simply not being social enough. Like it is crazy what 1 to 2 hours of socialization can do for your mood. And it literally clicked for me today that I think the reason why I am just not in a good mood a majority of the time is because I'm spending too much time alone. And this is really hard for me to grasp because I am probably like the highest level of introvert there is. Like a lot of times, even when I get out somewhere with people, I already kind of want to go home. Like there is a very small group of people that I can genuinely spend a few hours, let alone a few days with without getting sick of them. But even I have my limits. Like if I spend too much time alone in a given day, that is when things up here start to get really dangerous. I mean, even this past week while I've been subbing the fitness classes, it's like 1 to 2 hours of my day, but I genuinely feel like I'm on such a high after leaving these classes because not only am I doing what I love, but I'm also interacting with new people. Humans are social creatures, and it is very alarming to me how much socialization I think we are lacking as a society. It's even worse for me currently because I'm on summer break for work, so I have 11 weeks of no work. So I have to get very intentional with how I'm spending my time. And that's my intention moving forward for these last 7 weeks, I think, because I have just been driving myself absolutely crazy. Like, yeah, I go to the gym for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours in a day, which I don't even talk to anyone when I go to the gym. It's just me being around other people. But aside from that, I just kind of come home. I'll record some videos if I feel like it. I'll send some voice notes to some friends of mine that live out of state. But aside from that, it's like, okay, well, my friends either have plans or my friends work jobs that are year round. I don't have kids. I don't have a partner right now. So I am really spending a majority of my time alone. And it is actually very, very detrimental to my mental health. This entire time I thought that there was something maybe wrong with me, or maybe I was suffering from depression. No, I think I'm just suffering from not socializing enough. And I just wonder how many other people are taking medications and thinking that certain things are wrong with them when in reality, they just need to leave their house. So this was my wake up call today that literally starting next week, I am going to make an intentional effort every day to like talk to someone or just go out somewhere and do something different, because I am going crazy not doing anything every day. Like, trust me when I tell you, working in education and having summers off is not as great as it seems. I'm also going to force myself to record all of the new things that I do because I want to hold myself accountable. And we're going to do a little test to see if my mood is actually better after doing things that force me to socialize with other people. So stay tuned.
This may be the most honest take. Loneliness is also a lack of social routine. Even introverts need people. The American lifestyle pushes individuals into functional isolation. Work, gym, home, screen. It looks normal, but the body pays the price. People think they're depressed, when in reality, they're deprived of human interaction. Socializing became optional, when it's actually a basic need. It's not about parties or crowds. It's about minimal daily exchange. Without that, the mind shifts into survival mode, and everything starts to feel heavier.